What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and in this video I want to show you examples, very hard evidence as to why it is such a bad idea right now for crypto investors to be chasing any kind of pump. Okay, first let me set the stage. Let me set a premise here for you. Okay, everybody in crypto, except for the people who've bought Zcash a couple months ago and haven't sold it, and even then they're dealing with a 40% dump right now from from the recent high a couple days ago. Everybody in crypto right now, unless you're fully allocated to Zcash or Dash and you bought a few months ago, and then that's your holding, everybody's feeling some pain. All cryptos are down. Everything's down. Everything's taken a little bit of a hit recently, especially. And whenever we take hits, we as humans, not just as investors, but as humans, we feel like we're doing something wrong. And when you feel like you're doing something wrong, like something's not going your way, that you've made a mistake, you feel like you might need to take action and do something about it. You need to take action. You've done nothing so far. You've just sat on your hands and let the crypto trades play out or the investments play out, and it hasn't worked for you so far. So now you need to do something different, which is take action to make up for these losses, right? And that's actually a very bad idea because right now, while the market is down, there are some shining stars. There are some coins that are just popping off here and there, random pumps. Maybe not so random if you're paying attention, right? The different narratives and different things can definitely be seen coming before they pump, but largely it's just kind of random pumps. And if you're chasing these random pumps, what's happening is you're selling your coin, whatever coin it might be, or your coins that have dumped dramatically, that have seen some pullbacks over the past couple months, or over the past month specifically. You're taking those, you're selling them at a loss to buy a coin that is in the profits, right? Really, it should be the opposite. If you're holding a coin right now that is up over the past couple months or over the past month, and the rest of the market is down, you should be taking profits from that coin and putting it into the coins that are low. But a lot of people are selling their low coins for coins that are high. And again, the reason for this, I think, one, first and foremost, is shiny object syndrome. People get ecstatic about coins that are pumping, and they feel like they're in the wrong project, or even if they're in the right project, they're not in the right project right now. They want to get into Zcash or Dash as it's pumping and make some money, make back some money from the losses that they've had over the past month. There's that. But the second part of this is that there's that instinctive just thought within us that you haven't done anything, you've bought, you've held, and doing that resulted in a loss of funds. So now you feel like you have to do something. Now you feel like you have to take action. And when you take action, when you're emotionally charged and you take action financially, it's likely not going to be the best action for you. You're likely going to make a mistake. So this is kind of, I didn't think of it like this in the beginning of the video, but I guess this is another one of those videos where I'm saying do not make emotional decisions as an investor, right? If you're emotional, the best thing to do is probably to not do anything at all, or maybe do the opposite of whatever you think is the best thing to do. That's probably, if you're emotional, if you feel like you're emotional, which I think a lot of us are right now. There's a lot of fear in the markets right now. But if we look at this, we look at coin market cap here. I took the top 100 coins, right, and we're looking at the past 24 hours. These are the gainers. These are the losers. Just look at this list here. Starknet yesterday was one of the top performers, top loser today. Uniswap yesterday, talk of the town, one of the top performers, top loser today. FET, same thing. FET was doing well not the other day. Filecoin as well. Pump had a little bit of life. DOT. I don't know about VeChain. If VeChain saw some life, I guess it pumped recently. Trump did as well. Virtuals was pumping. Zcash, Arbitrum, ICP. Notice how the top dumpers today, like the top 10, 20 dumpers, are all coins that last week or even yesterday were the top performing coins, right? It's not just my words that are telling you this, it's the evidence in the data that is telling you this, that we are not in a moment where it makes any kind of sense to chase pumps. It's not a bad time if you'd like to allocate to different projects or maybe transfer some funds around, but if you're going to sell a coin at a loss, don't sell it for a coin that's up in the sky. Sell it for another coin that's down at a loss too. Maybe it dropped more. Like you're selling, maybe XRP dropped, I don't know, from its high. How much did it drop? Let me just see here actually real quick. Can I pull this up? If it doesn't take too long, let me just see. From its high in October to where it is now, it's dropped 24%. Maybe you're selling your XRP to buy a coin that's down 40% or 50%. Okay, that's somewhat strategic. That makes sense. But if you're selling a coin that's down for a coin that's up, you're really just setting yourself up for max pain. Because imagine that you held XRP, right? Since October 2nd, you bought XRP over here, whatever you held, you're down on average like 24% or whatever right now. And what you did is you had the bright idea a few days ago to sell your XRP down at these levels and buy Uniswap or Stark, and maybe you bought them yesterday. Maybe you bought Filecoin a few days ago whenever it pumped, or last week whenever it pumped. Now you're taking your deficit and you're adding to it, because now these things are down today and they're probably going to continue to drop, right? What goes up must come down. What comes up must come down. Typically in crypto, it's a very volatile ride, and whenever we are in these moments like this where the market is down as a whole, we're fearful. We're fearful. And you look at the fear and greed index right at 26 here. That's pretty low levels of fear. Throughout this whole cycle, we don't really get this low or lower, but it happens, and it has happened a couple of times, and those are typically the low points. The worst thing that you could do, really, all I'm trying to say is try to move things around in a way where you're chasing pumps. Because if you're chasing pumps, what goes up will come down, and likely it'll be volatile. What happened with Zcash and Dash was psychological priming. So now anytime you see a coin that goes up 100%, you're like, oh, okay, so it's going to go up 600% or a 10,000%, 1,000% overall. We're going to get a 10 to 20x or an 8x overall. I can get in. Even though it pumped 100% yesterday, it's still at a low price to get in. Zcash and Dash primed your psychology for that. And if you think that's how it's going to be for every coin, that's not true. Now, Zcash and Dash, what they've done, there's probably going to be other cryptos that do that exact same thing. So that mental priming is justified to some degree, but largely what's going to happen is you're going to get coins like Uniswap, Filecoin, Trump Coin, WLFI, whatever coin it is of the day that pumps 100%, and then the next day it's the biggest loser, or the following week it's the biggest loser. So stay away from chasing coins if you're in the red. The best thing to do is really just sit on your hands, wait, let the market come back up, and if anything, if you want to put money into these coins that are pumping, put new money into there. Or put money from profits into there, but you'd be better off taking your profits from anything and putting them into coins that are down, not chasing pumps, right? That's the whole point of this anyway. So I got nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe. Stay out of your own way, right? Stay out of your own way. It might feel wrong, but I think the best thing for the majority of people who are watching this video right now, I think the best thing to do would probably be to just not do anything at all. Just wait. Just trust the process. You can look at the charts. You can look at all these various cryptos that, oh, if I just put it in here, or if I just put it in there, I would have made this. Maybe you would have. Maybe you would have put it in there. Maybe you would have made profits. Maybe you would have put it in here, and it goes up to here, and you would have made profits, but you wouldn't have sold because you're still greedy, and then it comes down lower than where you would have gotten into originally. You're just better off not playing this guessing game and just holding, letting the coins that you have conviction for, the coins that you've done research on, the coins that you've studied, that you can describe more than just a price perspective. You can describe on a fundamental level what they do. Hold those coins. Hold your coins that you have conviction in. Everything's down. It's not just you. Okay, everything's down. It's okay. The way to make it worse is by trying to make as much money as you can as fast as you can before this next move happens, right? And people get desperate. Whenever you're desperate, when you're emotional, you don't make the best decisions. Anyways, I'm just rambling. It's more of the same stuff. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I hope you're all faring well. I do want to say, we are in a bit of a precarious situation here with Ethereum and with Bitcoin. If we take out these lows, there's a couple of good things that can come from that and a couple of bad things. A couple of good things, we take out these lows. One, we'd be in extreme levels of fear, which, again, the last time that we had extreme fear was April 7th. That was a low point in the markets overall, and we actually had some fantastic recovery from there, not just for Bitcoin, but for a lot of different cryptos. So there's a positive outlook, right? We've only seen extreme fear one other time in this cycle, right? So taking out these lows is that would be positive. Another positive thing would be that we clear out a ton of long positions and we pile on the shorts, okay? But the negative would be that we run the risk of breaking out of some serious structure, and that could propel us to lower prices. Not only that, not only Bitcoin, but Ethereum and XRP as well, right? These market leaders, if they don't start holding their ground and start pumping soon, things could certainly get worse. And the worst thing would be not to just hold through the pain. The worst thing would be to sell the low, buy a coin that's up here, and because it pumped so much, and you were expecting the market to recover, so it was going to pump more. Now the market's dumping. This thing pumped a lot. It's going to dump even more than the rest of the markets, right? Like the coins that are going to dump the most right now, if let's imagine that Bitcoin and Ethereum and crypto as a whole, this dump in October wasn't the end of it. What if we have another crash coming of a similar magnitude or half that magnitude, whatever? We have a crash coming our way. The coins that are going to dump the most are the ones that have pumped the most over the past month. Those are the ones that are going to dump the most. That's just what happens. Anyways, I'll see you guys on the next one. Hit the like button, subscribe. If you're investing in crypto, the best thing to do is probably to just do nothing at all right now. Look to buy, and hodl your coins. That's what I'm doing. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Do whatever you want, but that's my perspective. Anyways, I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.